here's Brody Brazil.
I wanted to share some honest thoughts about TikTok. Here on a pretty controversial and even pivotal weekend where the service and the product, it may actually be blocked from being downloaded here in the United States due to security concerns. Now, there is a big difference between being blocked for download versus actually being used. Like, TikTok is very much going to go on this weekend here in the United States. But in the long run, will being blocked for however long, will it actually make it less accessible and less desirable? I don't think so at all. I think the opposite's going to happen. I think this is going to create a boost in popularity, and not just even the rush to get the app before it's going to be blocked from respective app stores. I'm talking about the idea and the notion that you want what you can't have. And if this is being taken away, it's going to create that subconscious instinct to want it and to use it even more. Because again, after all of this, I don't think we're seeing at all the beginning of the end of TikTok here in America. And also this warning, if you can't download any new app versions of TikTok, that also means that you will not get security updates, patches, and fixes, which are normally pushed out because, they've blocked it. So you're sitting on your phone with an old version, and if it gets hacked, you are literally on your own. So just that warning. All right, look, I'm 39, and I use Twitter, I use Facebook, I use Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I've got a podcast. By no means am I a social super user, but look, I understand this stuff. I'm young enough, but I'm also old enough, if that makes sense. I think I get this more than I don't get it, oftentimes. And so I've got these honest thoughts about TikTok. Maybe they're even considered gripes. But here we go. Number one, I believe there are valid security concerns about TikTok as an app. I mean, first off, how much do you trust any app that has complete access to your camera, to your microphone, to your photos, to your current location, to all the locations you've been, also all the contacts in your phone? Not just TikTok, any app that can get all of this. I mean, do you know who you're giving this all to, or you just know that everybody's giving it to these respective companies? Now, I have seen reports and I have seen the accusations that TikTok as an app is looking at far more information on your phone than they actually need, than they should need for the service they provide. And I really don't believe this is a Trojan horse type situation. I don't believe this app has been created for malice. I don't think it was designed for bad. I really don't. And in fact, I'm open to hearing their side of this. I'd like to hear both sides of this. But I think that's what we're missing from TikTok. Flat out accountability, IRL, as in real life, just to prove that I'm young enough to understand this stuff. All right. Number two, what is the evolution of TikTok? I mean, right now it's the dancing videos, it's the music, it's the filters, it's all the fun stuff. But don't you remember when Facebook was all about fun too, and Twitter when it first started, and Instagram was just random artistic photography? This is the evolution of a product. And don't get me wrong, having another major one out there is not a bad thing. Diversity is good, choice is good, competition is good. But do we need another addictive platform here and now in 2020 and beyond? Also, if this platform is planning to be a distributor of news and information like Facebook and Twitter specifically have become, they also need separate accountability for that. Before I was talking about security accountability, now we need the clarity of free speech versus censorship. That type of balance, it needs to be out there. It needs to be understood. It needs to be stood behind. And so, no, I don't think TikTok is going to be happy with their current product alone and never evolve it and never change it. It's going to evolve away from fun at some point. You just watch. I know there's a lot of young people on there right now. As soon as older people get their hands on this, it's going to change for good. Trust me, you already know the answer. Number 3 is made-up metrics. Now, I know some people who have spent literally a couple weeks on TikTok and they posted apparently just all the right things and they put them on the For You page, but they instantly gained hundreds and thousands and even some cases millions of followers in the blink of an eye. And with all the comments and likes and hearts and views to go along with them, like numbers that you just couldn't believe. How does this happen that a random person is able to gain a global TikTok following within a span of weeks? And they don't really have that same clout on other platforms. Now, I know it's the natural instinct to say, well, I believe the platform and I believe the numbers. Look, they're right there on the screen. Those numbers wouldn't lie to you, would they? Let me tell you a quick story about Facebook back in 2016 and 2017. I have a personal experience here because I had a lot of success on Facebook during those years. My page quickly went from 1,000 people on there to 10,000 to over 100,000 likes. Within a couple months, I had videos that were shared tens and even hundreds of thousands of times, videos that got millions of views, and these were the viral type posts. Got to be honest, they usually had not much to do with sports. But the moment that I would post something about baseball or hockey, it was like nobody even saw them. I mean, the numbers were minuscule. Where were the 100,000 people that were liking my page that I knew should be able to see this stuff? So I'm convinced, looking back, and I didn't know this at the time, that Facebook somehow was boosting my numbers specifically to keep me posting, to keep me motivated. I mean, what's more rewarding to a content creator than knowing it's working, in air quotes? I mean, anybody would keep putting that gas in their car if they liked the instant results and the numbers that they were seeing. So TikTok, yeah, I'm almost positive there are some made-up metrics. Unless there's that many people on this and the platform is that evolved, which I don't think it is, I don't know where some of these numbers are coming from. And that brings me to my fourth and final point here. I think that TikTok does encourage risky behavior by its users. And I know I probably sound like an old guy saying this. And I also realize that kids are already posting things to Twitter and Instagram and YouTube that they probably shouldn't be doing. Videos that, they either regret or are dangerous. But I just feel like things I see on TikTok have a higher volume and a higher occurrence of being regrettable. Dumb things. Like I said, a regrettable post. Or somebody even endangering themselves to make a video that everybody's going to want to see and talk about and share. Do you remember that show? Maybe you don't. America's Funniest Home Videos? Like, the program existed on network television for years and decades. Is it even still on? But it had a hard time outdoing itself because you can only have so many funny, cat and dog chasing each other videos. But that's what TikTok will be like if it doesn't evolve in the next 10 years. It's hard to outdo something which people have enjoyed, but the next group's going to try, and the next group's going to try. I just don't want every young person out there thinking that they need to strip down to their swimsuit for every video and to try and gain notoriety and popularity that way. I don't want every young person to think that they need to be a Hollywood stuntman and gain their popularity that way because TikTok is a platform for showcasing that. And what are we talking about here? All this for followers and views and hearts? In conclusion, no. You know what? TikTok is not a lot worse than some of the other things we already have with social media, but if we were just starting in 2010 with TikTok, I probably wouldn't have a problem with it yet. I wouldn't have much to say because I don't think we all understood the bigger picture of social media. But TikTok needs to, right now, mature at a very rapid pace to be with where we're at and everything else is at here in 2020.